Good afternoon. My name is Wendy Pitkin. I'm here interviewing Colleen Holmes on behalf of the Bay Island Community Service Incorporated for Seniors Week. Thank you for coming. What brought you to the islands and when did this occur?
I came here with my parents in 1938. Dad had had a big accident doing work for the dole, and he had £25 and 15 and threepence. And we were renting down the coast, and he'd spent time in hospital with this injury, and must have been reading papers and saw the islands advertised and came up and bought. Now, he wasn't a farmer. He knew how to work, but he wasn't a farmer. He'd been a pharmacist. That in the Depression years they didn't want them. So he'd been on the dole and went broke in a shop and then came down here. Best thing he ever did, I think, but he never lived long enough to really appreciate how good it was. And it still is good.
Did you buy a house or did you build your own?
No, there was a house there on the property out along Coniva Road, and it had been for sale, and the fellow had paid £250 deposit on it, and the owner lived in Cairns, and Dad had corresponded with him, and I think from memory that the property was worth 2,900 or something. And Dad must have gone, he said, well, I don't want the £250, that's a credit to you. And he paid off £4 a month. And when he passed away at the end of the war years, Mum took over and she paid £4 a month and finally sold it. And talking house, the prices, she got £6,000 for the property. It had poultry sheds on it and whatnot, but it was a lot of work for Mum.
What was life like on the islands in those days?
I've never been to paradise, but I reckon I have. It was lovely. It was a kid's paradise, and I think it still is too. We used to go oystering every weekend, and that was one big meal. I still love oysters, and you didn't need a permit to have a fishing net. And Dad had made a fishing net, so we were well cared for. Mum's family used to come from Brisbane for the weekend, and they'd come down loaded with. They had money, we didn't. So they come down with fresh meat and things like that, and go home loaded with bananas and passion fruit and pawpaws and pineapples. It really was.
Whatever, yeah. What made you get involved in working with the community?
Now I don't do a lot of volunteer with the museum. I've always said the island was so good to us that it's just one way of saying thank you.
What type of community involvement did you do?
Well, I always had before I got married and come back to the island, I used to be with Legacy, with Junior Legacy, and I put quite a bit of time there. But there wasn't anything like that here, so any spare time we farmed. My husband was a farmer. I enjoyed doing that.
Have you enjoyed living here over the years?
Yes, never doubted it.
Very definite that, isn't it? Have there been any memorable events that have occurred on the islands?
Everything's memorable here.
Some more so than others. Some of the events that might have happened, you know.
No, you've got me there.
Well, one lady mentioned people used to sing and dance on the barges.
Yes, yes. Dances every night at the church hall. That was a trick and a half. We'll leave that unsaid. It was a lovely outing, and we all learned to dance.
Yeah. So. Thank you very much for coming along and telling us about your life.